So where better to start in this Extreme Rules preview than the pre-show match? We're doing the preview, that's the pre-show match. Yeah, you see how I did that? Miz versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah, this is kind of random. He just has Miz return, and all of a sudden he's in a match with Cody Rhodes. I'll probably watch it, but to be honest with you, this is one of those matches that I think deserves segments and build, and could be an actual match, maybe over an IC championship, at some point. But not on a pre-show, in my opinion.
As much as these two are probably going to put on a good performance, they've not really given me much to care about Cody. The Miz is not where I was hoping he would be after his face turn. If I had to pick a winner, The Miz.
Yeah, I think Miz wins this as well, simply because he's just returned. He's just filmed a movie, and Cody Rhodes, well, he's jobbing at the moment. Tornado tag match: Team Hell No versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. I must admit, I'm looking forward to seeing the Shield in tag team action, especially in a Tornado tag match, which are generally a lot more exciting than your general tag match. The build to this, they've had main event segments on Raw, and they've had main event segments on SmackDown. They only announced it on the last Raw on the Go show, but they've built to this pretty well. The Shield is one of the sort of better things, in my opinion, about the WWE product right now.
Because of the build, you do expect going into this match that we're going to be getting new tag team champions. And to think of it, the tag team division is not too much to care about, because no matter who wins, their opponents are not going to change unless the WWE dramatically do something. But the fact that Team Hell No, they're moving away from putting Kane and Bryan into a feud, keeping them the tag team like they should, but they've had the titles for a long time, so why not move on to the team you want to put over in the WWE.
I think also with Shield's sort of undefeated run, the DQ thing not counting there, of course, against John Cena, but with Shield's undefeated run, you'd kind of back Reigns and Rollins to win this match and take the tag team titles from Team Unknown, who have had the belts for quite a long time now, so I think Reigns and Rollins will win. US Championship, Cody versus Ambrose. This had a little bit of build to it, not a great amount of build, but I have a feeling they're going to want to give the Shield at least one of these two belts that they've got available to them. Whether Ambrose will beat Kofi Kingston, who's only just become champion, who knows? But it should be a decent match, despite the fact that the build has been kind of like, it's just been last minute, very sort of quick.
The thing about this is that I really cannot see, even though Kofi is a good performer, I cannot see him really beating Ambrose, a guy that WWE obviously want to keep pushing. So I think this is probably going to be a Shield night where the Shield get both championships. They were teasing Kofi and
Big
E, but that match could have still happened. I also been happy with that. So I'm going to say Ambrose here because I think it's going to be a Shield night.
And you could probably check out the WWE app for the reaction that the IWC will give when Ambrose and Reigns and Rollins win their matches. Jericho versus Fandango. This has carried on from WrestleMania. I've enjoyed this feud simply because Jericho is a guy I like, and Fandango is a new character which I'm liking as well. So this carrying on from WrestleMania, it's a logical build. This hasn't really been billed as any like Extreme Rules strap match or anything. It's just a normal singles match. Probably Jericho will win here and it'll end the feud. That's what I think will happen.
Well, I'm going to be more of a Fandango. Yes, I would have probably had Jericho win at WrestleMania and Fandango at Extreme Rules, but I think to give it so Jericho's lost twice, I know it's Jericho losing yet another match, but to finish the feud without being one all on each other, I think Fandango is going to pick up either a cheaty win or actually a good win over Jericho.
Extreme Rules match, Randy Orton versus Big Show. I must admit, at least this is a new match, a match which you haven't really seen before. Am I excited about it? Not really, but should the Extreme Rules stipulation make it at least semi-interesting? Possibly.
I look at this match, and yes, the main thing that SmackDown highlighted during its thing was the next pay-per-view Payback, which is covered by Orton. So maybe they can use this match to progress Orton's future. But when you look at this match, nothing's really going to come from it apart from something for Orton's future. But if I had to pick a winner, I think Payback, Big Show could win for Orton to want to get revenge on Big Show or something like that. But I'm going to give it to Big Show.
Yeah, I mean, it has carried on since WrestleMania with the whole tag team thing that they did. I just kind of feel this was done just to get them both on the card. Kind of like Orton and Kane at WrestleMania last year. Strap match, Sheamus versus Marc Henry. The match which we should have had at WrestleMania 28. But the way they built this, they've been showcasing Marc Henry and Sheamus' strength, and then they had the pulling of the trucks. They had an arm wrestling contest, a tug of war. So they've done loads of like sort of more entertainment / what casual fans would like in terms of building this. But Sheamus versus Marc Emery. I think Sheamus works a hell of a lot better with big men. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen a strap match properly yet. So this would be something new for me as a wrestling fan.
Going back to this feud, okay, I still question why the hell is this match happening. They still haven't really explained why it's happening, apart from because that's what I do. That's still the only reason it's happening. But going into the match, they've done a lot of back and forward between the two. This could have been a match that could have been Ryback slot, but obviously that's all changed. But if I pick a winner here, I'm going to give it to Sheamus just because he's expected to win most of his matches.
And to be honest, Sheamus, I don't think has had a pay-per-view win. He lost at WrestleMania, he lost at Elimination Chamber, he lost at Royal Rumble, lost at TLC, lost at Survivor Series, lost at Hell in a Cell. So he hasn't had a pay-per-view win in quite some time. I believe that's 6 pay-per-views now. He hasn't had a win at since, I believe, Night of Champions or SummerSlam. So Sheamus has to get the win here, in my opinion. World Heavyweight Championship, #1 contender, I Quit match. This all came around because of Dolph Ziggler's injury. Must admit, I was really looking forward to the 3-way ladder match. I thought that even if the build was shit for this, which it wasn't really that great, let's face it, with Ziggler as champion, he felt like a mid-card champion, at least the match should be good. But they've had to change things around, and I think this is probably one of the best things we could have hoped for. I probably would have kept it a ladder match, really, but essentially it's just a rematch from WrestleMania. Let's face it, the main focus of the World Heavyweight Championship has been Del Rio and Swagger lately. It really has.
Very true, they did highlight those two, but when I look at this match, I'm quite happy it's an I Quit match with these two. They both got submission-y finishes to put them over, and this is probably going to determine which move's actually going to finish the match. A #1 contender to give Ziggler an extra month, see if he can recover, ready for the next pay-per-view. That's being fair to Ziggler, I guess. But if I had to pick a winner, I think he's had his punishment at WrestleMania now. He lost at WrestleMania. Maybe they think, right, you've had that punishment, we can move your career on. Swagger.
Yeah, I think firstly it could be Del Rio because obviously Ziggler's a heel and they're going to put a face against a heel going forward. But at the same time, WWE may use this injury angle to turn Ziggler babyface and maybe have Swagger be the heel that he goes up against with their history. So who really knows? I've got my betting on Del Rio really there. But it should be a good match, hopefully. A steel cage match, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. This is a rematch from WrestleMania. Let's face it, the only reason why this match is on the card is because there's no CM Punk, and they feel that without CM Punk, they can't really sell too many pay-per-views, so they're bringing back guys like Triple H and Lesnar to work these, essentially, what are filler pay-per-views. But this feud, it's been hard for me to get behind it, but at least I know that it will be a good match, and hopefully Lesnar will get the win here so we can actually move forward with his 2-year contract, because I don't think Triple H really needs the win at all. There's nothing on the line for him anyway.
Even though the build, they've tried to do different things. They've had the mic work from Heyman, which again, always gold. Triple H, Lesnar not really standing out in this build-up as strongly as Triple H. But if I had to go into this match, yes, the way that Paul Heyman was announcing it first time round, it's 1-1. The next person's going to be counted as the man because he's got the last point. I think Lesnar needs to get it to prove his dominance, to get a win over Triple H, and then to be a threat ready for his next opponent.
Yeah, I guess my thing with this match is that Heyman made it out as if it was going to be a brutal match, and then it was like, steel cage. Well, PG steel cage matches aren't really that brutal, and Lesnar has been made to look like a bitch. So I think the bitch will win this one. I think the bitch has to.
Well, my last thing about this is that I can see why they picked the cage, the MMA. So they've gone through different stages of Lesnar's strengths, to make Lesnar look like he's going to win this, he's going to win this. So putting him into a cage where the beasts are kept, where the fighting's happened, I think they're trying to put over Lesnar as much as they can.
If they were going to do that, should have done an MMA octagon match. Possibly. I'm just saying, it would have been better than a steel cage. Main event. Well, what we think is going to main event. You never know. Lesnar and Triple H may main event. They main event at SummerSlam. Cena versus Ryback for the WWE Championship in a last man standing match. I must admit, I've been waiting for the time when they're going to do Cena versus Ryback for the WWE Championship or whatever in a big babyface versus babyface match. But ever since they turned Ryback heel, I really haven't liked what they've done with Ryback at all. Instead of making him a monster heel like he definitely should be, they've made him this cowardly heel, and it just annoys me when they just turn guys heel just to feud with Cena. And Cena's now the WWE champion, and I think a lot of people on the internet will hope that he loses. I would like to see Ryback win simply because I think we need to try and put over some new freaking talent. And Cena's the one man in the WWE, apart from maybe Jericho, Undertaker, and all the old guys, that can actually do that and put a guy over in a big way.
Since that Mick Foley thing when they were really trying to turn Ryback heel following the attack on Cena, I've not really brought into this Ryback heel turn. I've not been convinced. I don't think it's really worked. Yes, you've heard a few boos, but canned or normal, whatever. Going into this match, I think Ryback should win just to move the title away from Cena, even though he's only had a month thing. But then my last thing would be that Ryback's not won a pay-per-view match
since Money in the Bank. Yes, I know. And also the last man standing stipulation. I think that helps the match. I mean, they can hide themselves, their weaknesses a little bit more, especially Ryback, who's not fully 100%, great in the ring yet or anything. But the last man standing stipulation should make this match a little bit more interesting, even though Cena doesn't generally lose last man standing matches apart from that one against Del Rio. Not to mention he's got that injury, which you'd imagine they'll play off and maybe give Ryback an out there to actually beat Cena, possibly.
Many people will probably back up with me with this, even though they've had many opportunities to do it, they've never done it. This match, last man standing, you've got to beat the person down so they cannot get up. Cena's injury, like Dan said, I think this might be a perfect time to give Cena a break, but it's not going to happen. But they've got the chance here with Ryback putting him over, the last man standing, Cena's injury, so they got the opportunity, but Ryback should win this, even though Ryback's not really got the wins to back him up.
Do you remember when John Cena was going to take a break after Extreme Rules last year, and then he basically never did? So yeah, the Extreme Rules. On paper, it looks like we could get some pretty decent to good matches on this card, but I wouldn't say I'm really all that excited about it, using the way that WWE have actually built up this. There are a couple of matches here and there, but mostly I'm kind of with this pay-per-view, really.
If I had to say my matches, it's the Shield matches, because they've got a new direction now, and hopefully the final finish to Lesnar and Triple H.
Indeed. So that has been our Extreme Rules preview. Please let us know what you think is going to happen at the pay-per-view this Sunday. And from me, Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me, his name is NJ.
What's up?
Suck it. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.